I'm here with Madison Griggs, and right now we will be talking about your basketball career, maybe mostly about your college career because your professional career has only just begun, right?
Mhm.
And what's the name of your team and what's the city that you are staying in?
The city I am in is Sodi Italia, Sweden, and the team name is SBB Koa, like SBBK, but it's pronounced SBB Koa here. Um, and yeah, we're located in Sodi Italia.
Okay. And how, because when it's weather-wise, it's the same I mean, it's the same continent, Europe, but weather-wise, it's very different, right? So, how are you adjusting to the weather so far?
I already have a heater in my apartment, and they usually don't turn on the heater until maybe at the end of this month, like beginning of next month. But I was like, no, it's already cold, so I need a heater. Like, fall here is like beginning of winter back at home,
Hmm.
so it's a lot of adjusting already. I had to get a bigger coat so I can just stay warm walking to the gym. Um, so I think it'll be fine. My apartment is heated most of the day. But other than that, I only feel it when I'm outside. So we'll see in the winter how it really is.
Yeah, yeah. You're in for an interesting winter, I guess, especially coming from Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So how hard was it for you to leave your home state behind? Because up until that point, you've only played in your home state, right? And
Hmm.
and you make a big leap, not only to like a different state, but different continent. So how hard
Yeah.
was it for you to make that move and make that decision?
Not hard at all.
Okay.
I was really excited because, like you said, I have been at home my entire life. So I was so ready to get outside of my hometown. And in the summertime, I lived outside the country the whole summer. So I wanted to adjust myself so I can kind of know what to expect living outside of my home before I got in an environment where I had to be away from home and playing basketball. So I did that on my own this summertime. In the summer, I went to Dominican Republic for June and July, so I can get adjusted to just being in a different place that's other than my home. So I think the transition was really easy, coming from here, just being in another place, another stop. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the weather is probably very different in the Dominican
Oh
Republic
yeah.
than here. Yeah. But
Yes.
did you get a chance to like see some parts of Sweden so far? Like when it comes to
Oh,
nature or
yeah. It is a lot of nature here in South Italia. It's a lot of nature, I mean parks and stuff that have beautiful trees and a lot of space to just, be outside. But the only place I have been to is Stockholm, and I really, really enjoy and love Stockholm. So the more that we play games, the more I would travel to see. We're going to this island to play a game this weekend, so we'll see about that island. They said it's really nice. So yeah, I'll experience more the more we play away games.
okay. Do you know the name of that island? Is it like Bornholm or something like that? Or
Um,
because
I know the
okay,
team is like Vespi,
okay, okay.
but I'm not sure the exact island name. I can maybe get that for you at a later date.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I've never been to Sweden, so I'm not too familiar with it too. Just heard that it's beautiful, especially in
Mhm.
like in the spring. So probably
Yes.
you will get to
Yeah.
experience that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I want to ask you if because spending your whole life in one place, you get to know the people. So is there like a common feature that people from the state of Tennessee share, in your opinion, that you are able to see?
Um, Something that we share. I guess Southern culture, I guess.
Okay.
That's the most broad, biggest thing that I can think of at the moment. Specifically, I think cities share more specific things. Like my city, we really, really love basketball. Middle Tennessee, they like basketball, but it's football too. So I mean, it's like a Southern thing, I can say. I don't really know how to explain it. Like we eat different kind of food down there. Um, we celebrate in different ways, like parties and college parties or however you want to culture wise. It's all the same, but it's different city wise. It just depends on what city you in
Hmm.
Tennessee.
Okay. And do you plan on bringing some of that southern flavor to your team as well?
Um,
Is
I've
the
grown
so
up.
so I want to ask you, is the coach like open and willing to listen?
Oh yeah,
Or okay.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure, for sure. Like I'm from the South, but I don't have a lot of Southern built-in traditions that I certainly do. So I feel like I'm an open person that can adapt to any kind of culture
Mhm.
majority of the time. So I don't think I've necessarily brought anything Southern besides my accent and besides my lane that I speak that's different than here, but and maybe my hair or but a lot of people all over the world have locks. So yeah, maybe just my language and my accent, the way I speak.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking that question because you're a sociology major, so
Yeah.
it so did the fact that you decided to study sociology come from your willingness to watch people, or just your interest in people in general, or how did that come about that you wanted to study sociology?
Yeah, I love seeing and witnessing the growth of people and mind. And I just really wanted to like get as much knowledge that I could to see how people can grow as much as they can, um, especially myself. You know, I want to grow as much as I can in whatever way that is. So I know sometimes it can be psychologically or physically. So I really wanted to get deeper into the mind because I kind of figured out physically how I can, which is staying in the gym and, you know, taking care of my body, recovery, and all that kind of stuff. So really mentally just trying to figure out on that side how can I continue to learn every part of me inside and out and other people as well so I can, you know, help other people the way they think, whether or not I agree with it or not. So I think that's the majority reason why I took sociology.
Okay, and you've made the AAC Weekly honor roll 10 times when you were studying in Memphis. So, were you always big on the student part of being a student athlete?
I'm gonna be honest, no.
Okay.
No. No, I knew basketball was something that can take me really, really far. And I wanted it to take me really far. So I really put most of my focus on basketball, if I'm being 100% honest. And I think, you know, part of it has paid off. And but I did take a lot away from school and not just the remembering, you know, things out of a book, you know, just learning how to be disciplined with certain things. And if I really want to learn and do something, like just continue to be disciplined on learning that thing. And I think that that has really helped me with you know, new learning skills or new things I want to learn now that's not necessarily out of a book, but you know, new high earning or high paying skills that I can just learn every day outside of basketball.
Okay. And when did you know that basketball was going to be like your thing? Was there one particular moment that you can pinpoint, like there was a particular game which went particularly well, or there was a
Mhm.
person who convinced you that that you were so good at basketball that maybe this should be your calling in life?
Definitely my first couple years of high school, I realized like, excuse me, I can really shoot the ball. And I knew that if I kept, you know, perfecting my craft at shooting, everybody is going to always need shooters, you know, no matter where you are. So I really take pride in being that. But now I am expanding my game to more than just a shooter. You know, I can make plays and play defense a little bit better, but my base is really shooting, honestly. You know, I just always focus and try to perfect that craft because I know that that will always, you know, get to me where I need to be. So yeah, I think my first couple years of high school, really, and it was just like it was like a long period of time. It wasn't just a specific thing or a game. It was multiple people, multiple games that I've shown up for myself where I've never done things that I thought I, you know, would never do, but I did do them. So, you know, those kind of capitalized and made me realize that, hey, this is really something that I really want to do and continue to do.
Okay, because uh, I'm asking that question because in your essay, More Than Basketball, you mentioned one particular person who was very influential. So I want to ask you about the significance of Coach Helen Darling for your basketball path and your basketball career.
Yeah, she was someone that I met at a really, really early age. I was really young. And she was one of my coaches, my first ever coaches that I ever had. And I really looked up to her because one, she has played at the highest level, which is the WNBA for women's basketball. And, you know, she was just a loving person also. Like she was kind of like a second mom or just a mentor to me when I was really young. And she's the one that brought me onto her team because she really saw the potential in me at a really young age. So I guess that was a point in my life where I was like, hey, I think I'm better than I think I am, you know? So yeah, she definitely boosted my confidence like when I was really, really young, just taking me off of a really younger and lower team and putting me on her team where they had a lot of success and I contributed to that success with them. So yeah.
Okay. And so you said that you worked on your shooting. Was she the one who told you that the three pointer is going to be your thing, or is it something that just came up like organically when you were playing basketball?
Yeah, no, she wasn't the one. It really started to come in middle school when I just shot the ball naturally and it, you know, just went in. I don't really remember a specific time where I just, you know, went into the gym and was like, okay, I'm gonna be a shooter, I'm gonna be a shooter, I'm gonna be a shooter.
Hmm.
No, I think it just really naturally happened for me. And I realized in middle school, like, I can shoot the ball. And my teammates were always like, man, you can really shoot the ball. Like, you need to keep shooting and doing this and doing that. So I was like, okay. And that's when I really took it serious. Like middle school is about 11 to 14
Hmm.
age. So yeah, around that time I realized that I can really shoot.
And did you have to adjust your technique from the first days when you worked on your shooting? I'm not saying like the first years of you playing basketball because this is kind of obvious that you had to adjust when it comes to
Yeah.
growth. But then when you were already convinced that you were going to be a shooter, did you have to adjust your shooting technique?
No, no,
Okay.
I've always had the same jump shot. People have helped me, you know, help me shoot faster or quicker, but I've never had to tweak any kind of technique for my jump shot. I
Okay.
I guess I like just automatically started to shoot the way I shoot and it just progressed over time. So I think my success comes from having a really good shooting form from the beginning. You know, some whoever taught me how to shoot, I honestly don't remember. I think it's a certain amount of people, like a group of people that just, you know, gave me information here and there. But
Hmm.
yeah, like those people really like instilled some great things in me when I was little, especially shooting, because I've always had a great form. And I think having a great form and technique is what helps shooters be the best shooters, you know? So I think I was instilled to have that at a really young age, and all I could do was make that better.
Yeah, and the repetition only made it even better, right? Because of the fact that you could like repeat it. How many
Mhm.
threes did you shoot like a day when you practice? Do you remember? Was there a particular number that, for example, you made like a commitment to yourself that every day you're gonna shoot, I don't know, 100, 200 threes? Was there a moment like
Yeah,
that?
Yeah. It changes. It has changed a lot over the past 10 years, really. So when I first started coming out, when I was younger, I would shoot way more threes. Like I would shoot a lot. Like I would go to the gym and just get on the machine and just shoot. People would tell me you need to shoot 500 to 1,000 shots. So I would try to get up that many shots, and honestly, that number now is crazy. But when I was younger, I was just listening to everybody else. So I was trying to get up as many shots as possible. And I think that did actually help when I was younger because, it helped me progress it even faster. So, but the older I got, I took less shots, but more days. So when I was younger, I would do maybe 1 or 2 days a week, 5 to 1,000 shots, however many. But the older I progressed, I'll do 3 to 4 days, and I will only do 200 shots. I will go around the three and come back, and I would do that twice. And it would be like 150 to 200 shots, and then that would
Wow.
be enough for me. Yeah. So
Okay.
now, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do majority of the time now, unless I do specific shooting, and I'll do that maybe once or twice a week. But yeah,
And what's your favorite free? Like, is it coming off a screen? Is it catch and shoot?
definitely not catch and shoot. That's I think that is the hardest shot for me. Just straight catch and shoot. And don't let me be wide open. I'm probably gonna miss it. But I think off the dribble is my favorite. Like yeah, off the dribble. I do like catch and shoot when it's deep. Now, if it's close, like right up on the three-point line, it's a little harder for me. But if it's deep and I can catch and shoot it, then I can work with that a little bit more. But I think off the dribble threes is my favorite. And when somebody's hand is right here, I don't know magically, but I make those more than when somebody's not even on me. So I don't understand it, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
just what it is.
if it works, yeah. And do you
Yeah.
prefer, so you prefer creating for yourself other than somebody creating the chance for you? I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah, I do. Like it comes naturally for me to create for myself nowadays. I do want to get in the rhythm of just, catching and shooting, be able to make 40% of those, because I feel like those would be easier, but obviously looking at my history, they're not easier for me. So that is something that I have been working on since I've been here. It's just being ready to shoot and catch and shooting because I know I can create and make it off the dribble
Okay.
anytime, majority of the time. So now I'm just focusing on being ready to shoot and just catching and shooting really because I have a great point guard who can get me as many shots as I want.
And she's American or she's Swedish?
Yeah.
Swedish. Okay, okay, okay. Do you guys live like close to each other?
No, I
Not
think
really.
she lives about 7 minutes away driving.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
that's fine. Do you remember the first three-pointer that you've ever made in a game?
No.
No, okay, okay. Maybe you remember the first three-pointer that you ever made, like ever, when you just got the ball and shot it, and for some reason it went in. No.
Probably I don't know specifically, but I can think of when I was younger and I was in the gym with my dad and I was playing a game with the boys that were in there and at a certain point of time you have to shoot a free throw or a three to continue to keep playing. I was like, y'all, I
Ah,
cannot,
okay.
it's the game like 21. So if you
Yeah,
score, you go to the free throw or the 3-point line to keep
yeah.
shooting it. I couldn't shoot at the 3-point line yet. So I had to shoot free throws. So I do remember not being able to shoot a three yet, but I don't remember progressing to when I did start shooting threes, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And do you remember three-pointer number 96 in your freshman season? The record
Yeah.
set, one of the first like record settings three
Uh-huh.
pointers in your
Yeah,
career.
yeah. It was just like a great time. I guess like it was, I mean like
were people like are anticipating it, like your friends or your family, were they waiting for that chance to happen? The teammates were waiting to like celebrate with you?
No, like no, because it just happened. It's not a celebration until you realize, dang, nobody else has done this but me. But in the
Mhm.
moment, you're like, all right, it's another three, it's another shot. But you don't realize, like, dang, that was my 96 three a year later. That's when I realized it. But in the moment, I'm like, all right, cool,
Okay. Okay.
you know.
That's a good mindset to have, I think, because milestones are just like numbers, right?
Yeah, yeah, like
uh yeah.
you
And what
don't realize.
up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
please go on. No, no, please go on.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying like everything that I have accomplished, I don't well, my last record breaking, the 288,
Yeah.
that was obviously something that I knew was coming up because everybody was like, you about to break the record, you about to break the record. But it was at the same time, it was just another game where I just playing me and it just naturally happened. And yeah, I don't recognize my milestones until a year later or however long later when I realized that I was the only person that did it. So,
Yeah, and it's hard to it was I mean probably it is still to plan those milestones with you, because for example you can score like six or seven threes in a game. So
mhm.
you can't expect that to happen, right? That suddenly you can like
Yeah,
for
yeah,
come up
right.
with like break the milestone, like I don't know, two games in advance instead of two games later. So that's pretty
Yeah,
interesting. And
yeah.
you set the University of Memphis career 3-point field goal record with 363. Do you think that that record will ever get broken, male or
Uh,
female,
yeah,
men's
I
and
think it's gonna
women's?
take
Yeah.
a minute, but the game is evolving so much faster. So it is turning into a 3-point game. So, you know, you never know how fast. I think it definitely will be broken, but you never know how fast it will be. I think mine took what was it, like 10 years? I
Mhm.
forgot. Yeah, more than about 15 years almost. 13, somewhere around there. I know it's no more than 15, but no less than 10. So uh it probably I feel like it'll get broken in the next I say less than 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah, the guy who set the record, Rodney Kearney, he like had
Mhm.
287. He had a, let's say that an okay NBA career. I mean, he still made the NBA, so that's like he's better
Yeah.
than like 99% of male population anyway. So yeah, it would definitely take a minute.
Mhm.
I want to ask you also about your ink, if I may, like your tattoos,
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you have a lot of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the worst question that you can ask a person is probably what each tattoo means for them. So I just want to ask you about maybe the tattoo that you enjoy the most, that you still look at it, because I mean, I have some and I regret some of them,
Oh, yeah,
understandably. So I don't want to ask you about those. I want to ask you
yeah.
maybe the one that you like the most, that has the most like meaning for you.
Um,
Maybe it has to do with a particular situation
yeah.
that was
I think
memorable.
well I see this one. I see this one the most. It says nine, I don't know if you can see it, but it says
Yeah.
96 and my logo is right there.
Okay.
Um and I have 288, which is the record that I broke on my hand too.
Okay.
So I see these the most. So I think these and the ones that's on my thighs that say love yours um are the most like symbolizing for me. Because 96 in Madison, definitely reminds me of my legacy and it reminds me where I came from and reminds me what I am building every single day, what I'm working towards every single day. Um, and yeah, I just like to in a humbling way, I like to just put my greatness on myself, and just remind myself to stay humble, but also remember what you have done, what has gotten you where you are. And the love yours specifically is like love your life. If you don't love your life, then what's the point? If you're not loving what you're doing every day, then what's the point? So just remember just to always love what you're doing, love your life and love yourself and keep striving, keep going. So yeah, I think those are the most symbolizing ones for me that I look at and it really motivates me to keep me going.
Okay. And when you're talking about your legacy, what do you want your legacy to be?
Just greatness, somebody who doesn't stop no matter what happens in life, because life always happens. But it's just how do you react to life? How do you react to situations that don't benefit you the most, or that you think that don't benefit you the most, or um, and not allowing myself to be someone, excuse me, who becomes closed and doesn't want to continue to grow or anything like that. Like just somebody who's does whatever that they put their mind to, really, and just show other people that they can do it too, also.
Sure. And is there like a physical representation of that legacy that, for example, you will be able to look at and say, this is what represents me? Like for some people, it's like a shoe deal when they have their own shoe. For others, it's, I don't know, their clothing line, whatever.
Yeah, I have a clothing brand, 96 to
Hmm.
Madison. So I just made, you know, basically my record breaking from my freshman year into a motivational clothing line. And I just put 96 and put my name behind it because that's what it is, really. So yeah, I have a clothing brand right now, and I have a page on Instagram that I continually post on. I post my greatness, really, what I want to inspire other people to continue doing. I show vulnerability on there, like, hey, I'm not having the best day today, but I'm gonna still get up and I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing that, and just showing the people all sides of me, all parts of me that uh you don't really see on a normal basis from somebody who does the things that I do. You just see the great parts, but
Hmm.
relate to people. They want to see the real parts, the parts that they can relate to like every day, because it's not all fairies and flowers and all this every single day. It's not like that. That's not reality. So just showing them this part and that part so they can relate to both of them.
Okay. May I see your number again, the 288? Is it
Yeah.
when you hold it? Yeah, it's the fact that it's directed at you when you shoot the
Mhm.
ball instead of like being the other way around.
Yeah.
It also shows kind of vulnerability. The
Mhm.
fact that you're not flaunting, right? This is a reminder for you. This is not a
Yeah.
reminder for others. So that's kind of like that ties in nicely into your brand. So I like that very much. Yeah, that's I
Yeah.
just wanted to
Sure.
make sure. Okay, and the last question I have, what is next for Madison Griggs? Meaning, do you plan on returning to Memphis when you're done playing basketball, or do you plan on, I don't know, start a coaching clinic? I know you're just beginning your career, so you're probably not thinking about it being over, but maybe there is like a certain idea or a notion of an idea that you have.
Yeah, I definitely would want to go back and, help Memphis and help my community as much as I can, or just pour positive energy into that community as much as I can. As of right now, um, I have no, what is it? I
Plan?
don't coach. What do you
Okay.
say? Yeah,
Plan? Or yeah.
I have no plans to coach. Really, I don't think that would be too much fun for me, but I definitely want to continue to play basketball for at least 7 to 10 years. Because I just want to keep playing, and make a find an income that can help me give back to the community. And I really want to be more worldwide than Memphis. Honestly, of course, I want to go back to Memphis and help, but I want to have an influence that is more than Memphis too. Also, by the time I, seven, whenever I get done playing or whenever it comes, honestly, I'm not rushing. But yeah, just to have a influence of this light that I want to show and give to the world, honestly.
Okay. And I hope that you will achieve that. So thank you for finding the time to talk. And it was really a pleasure to talk to you. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. So thanks for that.
You too.
Thank you
Thank you
and
for having
bye.
me. Bye-bye.
Bye.